Shade, what type of tea they serving? Is it Lipton? Probably the type that Kermit be sipping. Take your mouth and start to click it. This dope trio delivering substance with subjects that's busting. Make you wanna join the discussion. Real people, real topics with a little bit of gossip. Out in the Bay, ripping 8-1 trade. It's all tea, no shade. All tea, no shade.
Welcome.
What up?
Ooh. Welcome to All Tea No Shade. We are serving tea without the shade.
Like we always motherfucking do.
For some reason, I swear there was like a pause there, but clearly not. All right, what you guys sipping on?
Yo, I'm finally happy this Sunday as we record this because I have me a glass of the finest champagne and orange juice. So yes, I am sipping me a mimosa early this morning, and I feel good about it.
And I'm sipping on an empty glass of no mimosa because he didn't make me one.
He damn sure didn't, but I went ahead and got my own. Thank you, Jay. Clink, clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
Oh, man, both of y'all stink. All right, so come on, let's get it going.
You don't get one?
No. Such a hospitality y'all have for me.
I mean, I did bring it.
You know what? I'm gonna drink some of yours out. Is it?
I don't know what you do with your mouth.
Oh.
All right, guys.
On some scissors.
Hey, sip.
All right.
All right, guys. How was your week then?
Go ahead,
I'm going to
Tina.
pass on this one, just so you know.
I had a good week. I'm enjoying things at work. The intern we have, they're helping him out with a project we're doing there. And
Yeah, you just started this new position, right?
I've been here for a little while now.
It's still new, Negro.
Ooh, as I was saying. So the intern there, named Jay Noetic. No, let me stop. No, actually the guy there, he's doing very good there. And the other day, it made me feel good. He sent me a text after he left work and just thanking me for really assisting him there. You know, so that's always good to get those right there. And plus, just doing some other things with my coaching. 2 more new clients, which I'm enjoying, and just moving on. Good week.
That's good. My week has been pretty good as well. I actually interviewed for 2 jobs within the company I work for.
All right.
Congrats.
So that's big.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, you know, because prior to this company, I spent 5 years with another company and was only able to interview one time for a position, right? I always found something to hold against me. So being that's only been almost 12 months, to be able to interview for 2 positions already is a great feeling.
That's a great way to start the year.
You know, and I heard through the grapevine that I'm in the top 3 for one position. And so it's a good feeling to be appreciated where you work. So we'll see what happens. Change is good, but change with growth is better, and that's all I'm trying to do.
All right, Pastor.
Well, that was
shout out to toe to the knee. That's so
yeah. That was a noetic wisdom.
For real. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to my favorite segment. Dun, 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 dun. Who am I?
Well, last week you
What's
kind
the
of
score?
stumped us 5, 1, and 1. I have 5. TJ has 1, and L, you have 1 because you stumped us last week with.
All right.
Who was it last week? What was her name? Miss Jennifer? No.
It was Jennifer Lewis, and
Jennifer
you guys
Lewis.
were like, y'all loved it.
Yeah, I bombed on that
All
one.
right, so this young lady is an actress.
All right.
She is 32. She's mixed, but she's considered black. She has one other famous brother who's also an actor. She has been an actress for very long. Like, we grew up with this chick. She grew up with us, in front of us, actually. She was in Eve's Bayou. She was in The Great Debater. She was in Temptation, Hand of Stone. She's played in Martin and Cosby Show.
Tisha Campbell?
No.
She played in Martin, though.
She's 32. She played.
So younger than me.
Great Debater. I
don't know
the
that
girl's
one.
name. That's with Denzel
Her
Washington.
most
It's a good
recent movie, I think, that you would remember, was one of Tyler Perry's movies called Temptation.
I can picture her. Cannot think of her name.
Oh, she's light skinned. She was, I don't know her name. I don't know her name.
Give me any part of her name and you will be good.
Oh.
Any
Because she
part.
did amazing in Temptation. That was,
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking about the one with Stalker.
I remember her in Great Debater. That, I remember that right there. I can't think of her name at all.
Damn. Sippers, do you know her name? Damn. I don't know her name. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't know her name, though.
All right, guys. So I guess I stumped you 2 weeks in a row.
I guess so.
Wow, look at me. All right. Well, her name is Journey Smollett Bell.
I would have never got that.
I don't know if you know who her brother is. His name is Jussie Smollett.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And so Jussie Smollett was actually attacked a couple of days ago. Well, more than a couple of days ago. He was assaulted outside of a train stop, and they had chemicals that he does. They never discovered what it was. Poured all over him. He had a.
Someone said it was bleach, but I don't know if it
I've
was
heard
true.
bleach, but then after bleach was the initial thing, but then after that they said it was unknown chemicals. So
Yeah.
maybe they thought it was bleach initially and then realized it wasn't. It's probably a very strong smelling chemical. And he had a rope tied around his neck, and obviously he had his butt whooped by these two MAGA people who apparently was wearing MAGA wear and saying stuff like that. So he finally has come out with his sister and the rest of his family and has finally released a statement.
What does the statement
He
say?
goes, because there's a light. It's a statement released by the family, so including
Gotcha.
him. Because there's a light in him that cannot be dimmed, because we are a family of joyful warriors, we will not let this get the best of us. Although this is a picture from happier times, this is the spirit of which we choose to move forward. They will not steal our joy. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, our beloved son and brother Jussie was the victim of a violent and unprovoked attack. We want to be clear, this was racial and homophobic hate crime. Jussie has told the police everything from the very beginning. His story has never changed, and we are hopeful they will find these men and bring them to justice. Our family thanks everyone for their prayers and the huge amount of love. Blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, he ends up saying, my body is strong, but my soul is stronger.
Hey.
Right? So,
You know what pisses me off, though?
Yes.
Is to the people who wanted to think that he was making this whole story up. Like, it's all
people
over
thought he was
internet.
making it up?
Absolutely.
Really?
All over the social media sphere. Oh, he's lying. Where are the facts? Because they, for one, he wouldn't hand over his cell phone to the cops, right? Because the cops asked for the evidence or whatever that he was on the phone. He was like, no, I'm not giving it up. So people was like, well, if he was telling the truth, why wouldn't he give it up? Well, maybe he has sensitive information in there that he don't trust other people with.
Yeah, why is the victim being looked at like he's the perpetrator?
They're saying also because they watched so many videos, they haven't seen anyone yet on the videos. They only found one video that showed two people walking up the street, and it's not clear at all who they were. But it's a lot of stuff.
It's so ridiculous.
So he beat his own ass and poured chemicals on
Well, they're
himself?
saying that it was domestic violence. They're saying that his boyfriend beat his ass, but he's like, but my thing is, why is everyone all of a sudden becomes these social media detectives, right? Like they know everything. They watch a video, they research this, or this is not what happens in this area. Come on, like you don't want to believe that he's been beat, but you want to believe R. Kelly is innocent.
Ooh. All right, Pastor Jay.
Like,
Jay is
come on
on
now.
one today, y'all.
But yeah, so
But okay. I mean, I've never heard. I haven't really been online that much. Actually, I was late coming here because I forgot my phone. Like I literally have like barely been on my phone at all. And so I did not hear that they were faking, like that they thought that he was faking it,
Yeah,
or that it
you
was
see
like a domestic abuse. All I've heard was that he was assaulted by MAGA people. But I feel like we're at this really weird political juncture because I feel like racism is so blunt and obvious now, and people are okay with it. Like not okay with it, but like people are just bold now.
displaying it.
A lot of people don't see the racist ways inside of them. Because this perspective now is a big thing out here.
Or do they see it, just don't care?
And don't care.
They don't-
Ooh, that's a good
they
point.
They don't see it. Because a lot of times when you've been living your life a certain kind of way for a long time, do you really feel that what you're doing is wrong? You see it for what the crime or what the sin is or whatever you want to call it? You see it for what it is? No. You see it for being part to you right inside of you because you've been taught this is okay to be this way.
Yeah.
So a lot of them don't sit here and see they're wrong in their actions.
I'm trying to understand the perspective of the people who feel like white America kind of feels like they're losing power, right? They're losing control. And I think a lot of these people are venting out because they feel like they're losing control of what they have, right? And they vent out against black people and gay people because they see more rights coming for more black people. You see gay people get more rights and they feel like they're losing what they have. And to a certain extent, I kind of understand it because as a man, right, I try to place myself on understand the situation. Women's rights have come along very, very far with a long ways to go, right?
Amen.
Long ways to go. However, with companies I've worked for, I've seen more initiatives for the LGBT community than for black people. And that bothers me a little bit. Like, and y'all know I support LGBT community. But as a black man, I'm like, well, where's my support? What are you doing to help me? I feel like maybe I'm losing a little bit of my balance of what I had. Racist white people are feeling the same way. They're losing this little bit of power that they have, and they don't want to give that up, and they're pushing back. So I think it's a great conversation to have, but it's definitely a touchy subject. So are y'all ready for the main sip?
No. We first need to talk about our listener shout out. How dare you?
So our listener shout out goes to Reggie Gray. We're gonna do Reggie Gray this week because
What's up, Reg?
Reggie has always been sharing our
Reggie.
stuff and commenting on our posts, and I'm not going to say he's our biggest
Reg.
listener, but he's done a lot of supporting, and we appreciate that from day one. And he recently commented on our rape culture episode that we did last week, how amazing it was, and everyone should listen to it. So,
All right, guys, if you want to be open or you want to be picked for a listener shout out, then interact with us. You can find us on Facebook at our Facebook page, All Tea No Shade. You can find us also in our group, All Tea No Shade Podcast and Friends. You can also find us on Instagram at All Tea No Shade Podcasts, or you can send us an email at allteanoshadepodcast@gmail.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into the sip of the day. Let's go ahead and clink it up. Clink, clink.
clink, clink.
Are you really not going to get a drink?
His imaginary drink.
I'm going to go in a minute and get me a drink. Matter of fact, y'all go ahead and talk with me a drink right now.
Hey,
Ooh, so good.
It's
All
good.
right, so this week we're doing shoulda, woulda, coulda.
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So it's a
Shoulda,
good time
woulda,
to.
coulda.
Hey, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Hey,
Hey.
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Ow.
That sounds like a Migos song.
I know. I feel like I could be like the fourth member of the
For
Migos.
real.
Like 110%. Just give me that fourth person royalty. Okay, so we're doing shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I think this is a reflection week. We're looking back on our lives and we are telling you guys what we should have done, what we would have done, and what we could have done. We hope that you take this time to actually reflect on your life as well, I think, and think about your shoulda, woulda, coulda.
A great little topic.
All right, so what's your first shoulda?
My first shoulda? I will say that I should have tried harder to be better at relationships in my 20s because I feel like I would have been more positioned to understand what it takes to be in a healthy relationship. I didn't really understand. I didn't start getting a better understanding of it until 31, 32. That's when I kind of started really trying to be better at
I think
relationships.
that's pretty normal for men, though.
Yeah, and I don't regret it. I just think that I was just so all over the place, and it was not very good at trying to communicate. It was not very good at trying to. I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted to do single-minded things, and you can't do that once you're in a relationship.
Right.
And so I think I definitely should have tried harder to be better at it.
What about you, TJ?
But my first one, it goes back to the fire department.
Okay.
Right before I retired, I was about to make captain, but I should have stayed and made captain, continued moving up the ladder. When I made officer, I got to my firehouse and not got lazy, but got comfortable there because I had a great crew, good guys there. We all had a great time at the firehouse. But I didn't allow myself to get promoted and move up even more. And in hindsight, I look back, I wish I would have continued moving the ladder to chief to assist with the other members, a lot of the new members there, help set up better and fair policies for the members and stuff. But
That's awesome.
that's the main thing I should have done.
So you think you literally chose not to to make captain, or you just subconsciously you just chose not to, but not being.
I consciously, because when the captain exams came up, I didn't take it because I was just enjoying where I was at. I got right comfortable there. I mean, the crew we had was just family. You know, that friendship, that bond, that camaraderie there was just a beautiful thing. Beautiful. You hear me, El?
Beautiful. I don't think that's Baltimore. I just think that's you being ghetto.
She was gonna let that slide too.
I was.
You brought it up.
But in hindsight, in hindsight, I look back and I see a lot of the young members that came through with me from at my firehouse and how they're doing now. And I'm glad for the young men. And they still reach out to me oftentimes. We talk also, but I just wish I would have moved up the ladder.
I think a lot of times though we do make decisions because we are comfortable with what we have. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like I think that if you love your friends, the space you're in, and you enjoy your current position, why? I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm speaking in general here. I asked it to myself: when is enough, right? Like, why do we always have to continue to try to go for the next position and the higher position and the more money? Like, I think sometimes it's okay to be where you are.
Well, mine wasn't even about money, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was just, I look back, I see more I could have done for the fire department as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, from the education I was getting with Homeland Security and FEMA and stuff, and also studying on my own everything to college, applying that education to assist the other members there. You know, it really would have been beneficial to all of them.
Elle, what's your first shoulda?
What's yours, girl?
My first shoulda is education. So when I graduated undergrad, I graduated with no loans.
Oh, okay.
I was able to go through scholarship.
That's awesome.
And I literally graduated with like 0 loans. And so I shoulda stopped there. I went on and got a second degree, but I think about that all the time. Like I had zero. Like I was one of the few people who was able to get a undergraduate degree and get out with 0. Like I literally. I was like, bright futures. This is the whole reason I moved to Florida. Literally, I was so pissed at my mom. My mom and dad forced me to move during my senior year of high school. Well, actually, my last, like right during the summer right before senior year of high school. They made me move down to Florida. We had a vacation house down here. And though I'm not rich, y'all, don't think too much of that. And
Bougie.
I was so mad because it was my last year of high school, so I missed like
All your friends.
all my friends, and like I didn't go to graduation or anything like that. You know what I mean? But my parents did it because they heard about this thing called Bright Futures Loan, which was like an automatic thing, like an automatic scholarship. So if you met a certain metrics, you automatically got it, which we didn't have anything like that in New York. And my parents knew that they were trying to Florida, so they were like, you need to go. And so I did it and I qualified, and that was back in the day when Bright Futures still did like 100%.
Wow.
And so I got through undergrad completely with no loans, and now I have so much loans.
You're not alone though. So many people have so many loans. That's one of the things. Actually, I'm not gonna bring it up yet, but like I think about going back all the time. Like, man, like college is so expensive. Like, do I want to really go into that? I just paid off 90% of my debt. It's like, do I want to go back to that? I don't know. So
I love school though. I could literally go back and be a full-time student. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move into one of your couldas. What could you have done? Wouldas. It's woulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. What would you have done?
I'll start. I could have.
No, it's would've. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Well, I'm gonna put in this. It's a could have and would have, but I will do.
You won't just confuse me.
Okay, but it's I'm putting together. I would have finished my college degree in emergency management. Okay, but I'm still going to finish. Man, what am I? This
You can't
drink
speak
already.
today. Don't blame it on the drink, because you was doing it before the drink.
I'm just saying beautiful, okay? But
Beautiful. You're so
but
beautiful.
I'm going to finish I would have, had I stayed in the fire department, finished my college degree in emergency management, but I will finish to have 2 more classes to take. And talking about the loan debt and stuff like that, I'm going to build mine up a little bit more, but that's okay. I'll take care of that soon. It's well worth it to me. Yeah,
I think it's going to be. I think so far there's a recurring pattern of school and education, especially like my Woulda is I would have went to a 4-year college instead of trying to focus on football, but I didn't have the right people around me to give me the right information. And I also say that because making it to the NFL, it's like a 1% chance of that ever happening, right? But I was
even if you get in, like I've dated ex-NFL players, even if you get in, there's no, like, you could be on the bench or you could get hurt or you could get injured.
It's a very short-lived profession for the most part, but I was so focused on that, and I just would have went to a 4-year college instead of playing football because I would have had that degree, and I would have, even though a lot of people aren't using their degrees in the current field they're in, I think it's proven stats that those who do have degrees do make $1 million.
That's over your life. If you have, but it's only from a bachelor's to from a high school diploma from a bachelor's. The difference in your lifetime is $1 million. They say.
Wow, that's a lot of money. What about you, Al? What woulda?
Yeah, what woulda?
I would have lived a little bit more. So I don't do balance well. I'm either like completely focused or I'm just completely focused. And so when I was growing up from like high school, especially in college, I was so career focused. I mean, I was president of multiple organizations on campus. I petitioned so I could take more credits. I was taking 21 credits, which I think the max used to be 18. I was working full time. I just was doing everything that I could to like pad my resume. And when you're focused purely on one thing, one aspect of your life, everything else falls. And so I wish I would have lived more, been in the moment more.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead, T.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say I don't know. I think most people in school though are super focused, right, on like trying to impress their parents and not disappoint their parents. I think it's hard to party and live your life and still go to school and make straight A's. You know what I mean? I think that's hard to do. I know I can't do it. I got to do one or the other. Like I can't party.
Well, for me, I was literally a president of or vice president of 4 different organizations, which was like a second job. So I easily could have been using that time where I wasn't like in major organizations to just work on me. Relax, enjoy. I didn't have any relationships, like romantic relationships at all during my college career. Like I was just so focused because I just didn't want to get distracted. But then
work-life balance is important.
It's hard, yeah.
It is.
Even most jobs today, they try to make sure that employees have a work-life balance. And the company I'm with right now, I currently work 4 10s, right? We basically 4 10-hour days, and they're talking about doing away with the 4 10s because they don't think it allows people to have enough work-life balance. Because you leave early, by the time you get home, you only have a few hours to yourself or whatnot, and so work-life balance is extremely important, regardless if you're 21 or 65. So, all right, so we're going back to we're on Coulda now.
Should have. Oh, I'm not.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Any of
What you could have done, but you didn't, and you're glad about it.
So
that's how I took it.
I'm gonna go back to shoulda.
You don't have a coulda?
Oh, did I do one? Okay, coulda. I could have been a big time hoe the last 10 years, but I've chosen not to, which is ironic because so many people really think I'm out here being a hoe. So I'm just gonna say I could have been a hoe, but I wasn't.
Should I pinch you and wake your ass up?
What? It's true. Why? You don't believe me?
Look, man, I'm moved on that right there. I don't know what you could have been. I'm not really like
I'm
that.
just saying, man. I'm just keeping it real right now. It'll give me a look like
it is easy.
Negro lying, but I ain't like I could have been though.
I hear you.
It's so easy out there to do it, and especially when you got heartbreak or frustration and you're pissed off at someone. Like we all go through those emotions. Like, man, I'm just gonna be a hoe. I'm gonna do my thing. But
been there, yeah. Nah, you shouldn't do that stuff, man. It's not good for you.
It's not good for you. I think it's very good for you.
You need balance.
Well, I'm gonna get balance.
What about you, Al? What you got for us?
Something I could have done, but I didn't. I could have gotten into more of. I don't want to say that on there. Never mind. I could have drank more.
There was no answer.
But I didn't, thank God. Lord knows I love me a glass of wine. I didn't like wine back in the day. And so I could have become a real lush had I learned how much I loved wine.
I actually try to stay away from, even in my 20s, I try to stay away from heavy drinking. My dad, he's an ex-alcoholic now, but he was an alcoholic when my parents were together. And I just saw how bad it was. And so I never was a heavy drinker. But I remember drinking. All I used to drink was Long Islands. I go to the club. I can't get a Long Island.
Oh my God, yes.
That was
Everybody
it.
loves freaking Long Islands. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
even now, I
They
don't drink
sneak
that
up
much.
on you, man.
Is that why you don't drink heavy, TJ?
What about
don't
you,
ever drink.
TJ? TJ does not drink, y'all. Black sauce.
Mine's a bit of a, I'm going to combine them again, Al. It's a bit of could have and should have. But to go to what you was talking about earlier also, Jay, I could have and should have accepted my scholarship for football and track and field. But a big part of why I didn't have guidance. Okay.
Guidance is important, man.
I didn't have guidance. My father was in the household, but he wasn't really that guiding figure for me, you know. And being young at that age, you know, I'm so boastful and proud of myself for being good, and I got this scholarship, I got that scholarship, but I didn't cash in on them.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's my could have and should have right there.
All right, so let's go ahead and go back on to our shoulda. Shoulda. What was another thing that you should have done?
I should have.
Mind your business? Okay, never mind.
I don't ever mind my business. Your business is my business.
Hey, what
You
about
should have
that?
been a hoe? You should have, right?
I should have.
I cannot believe you really said that.
I'm for
You
real.
should have been a hoe.
Absolutely. Live a little. What you just say, Al? You should have lived a little bit more.
That's true. I should have been a hoe too.
Hey, what's the name y'all gave me on here?
Pimp Tyrone.
Pimp Tyrone in the
Come on to my
house.
school, man. I'll teach you how to do that, all right?
So I should have followed my own spiritual path early in my life when I knew Christianity wasn't for me, right? I would say that because I knew for a long time that I did not want to follow that path, but my mom really wanted me to do it, and I was in church every Sunday, and I even became a Sunday school Bible school teacher, and it was never for me. And I'm not gonna say it was wasted time, but I feel like my spiritual journey would have been further along than it currently is if I had just followed my own spiritual path.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I think you have to kind of figure yourself in there. All right, what about you, TJ?
Mine is something that
Why you always got to sound like a perv?
I was talking to R. Kelly last night. No, I should have had a child. I should have had a child.
Do you think it's too late still?
Yeah.
That Negro old as dirt.
Ooh, me and Jesus still hanging. But no. I do wish that I would have had a child at a more younger and more appropriate age. At this age I'm at right now, I still can, but I don't desire
Do you really
that.
want to? Yes.
Yes.
It's
a
so
lot
funny
to it.
because I am a byproduct of older parents, and because of that, I'm such a advocate for it. Like my brother and me have a 15 to 20 year difference. I can tell you right now. We have a distinctly big difference between the two of us. Like when I was little, he was grown. And I can just like, when we talk about growing up in terms of like parenting, my parents were so much
Different.
like
Yeah.
wiser.
Yeah.
Like literally wiser.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like when, they had him when they were super young, they didn't know anything in life. You know what I mean? And so by the time they had me, like my parents weren't figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they knew it already. And so I always grew up with my parents being really, like my friends would come to my parents to talk. You know what I mean? And so I'm an advocate of having older parents. The way I look at life is, you can die in a car crash. And so you can't say like you're too old to have a kid, because if Joe Blow has a kid, he could literally die in a car crash, and the kid could, have 2 years with him. You don't know what old age you could live to your 110. You know what I mean? And so I think that balance between wisdom and youth, you get more.
I would definitely prefer to have. I'm glad I don't have any kids that I know about, but
You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done.
If I had my child now, if I had a child now, I would feel so much better about it, raising that child and teaching that child, because I'm so much wiser about not just my life, but life in general, that I could teach and pass down to my kid versus if I had my kid when I was 20, 21, 20s, I ain't no shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was still trying to figure it out. So.
For sure. I mean, my daddy's old, and I think he's great. And he tells me everything that he just knows everything. That's how I feel about my parents. They just know. I didn't have to wonder. You know what I mean? They weren't wondering about budgeting. They knew about budgeting. You know what I mean? Like, they just know everything by this point in my life. And so it's perfect for me. I mean, that's what I'm just saying. All right, guys.
So what she's saying is, go ahead and have a baby, T.
Go ahead and have a baby. You're so young. You take care of yourself physically. I feel like you're young at heart, and so your baby will be fine.
That's one of the nicest things she's ever said to me on the air.
I know, I'm being way too nice to you. Okay, guys, so my should've was I should have bought stock in Apple.
Yeah, but were you even old enough though? You weren't even old enough to buy
I got
stock.
bonds.
I don't think you're old enough to buy stock in Apple when Apple got started, though.
No, not when they get started, but I mean, it's crazy because we don't think about it, but that's all happened relatively recently. Like, you know what I mean? And so,
if my parents would have bought, like, I think in 90s, I didn't graduate high school till 99, so I wasn't buying anything.
okay,
at
so
that
maybe
point.
not stock because I guess I'm too young. But my parents used to buy stock for me when I was younger. They bought bonds, but who does bonds now? But
Bonds still valuable too, though.
I would have focused more on health when I was younger.
More on health.
Being healthy.
Oh,
Physically
gotcha.
healthy, like taking care of yourself and finding, like, I wish I would have found dance earlier in my life. I knew that I loved dance. I was in dance when I was younger, and then I got into the accident and kind of fell back from it. But like, I wish that I would have gotten back into it much earlier.
Health for me at a young age was never anything that I thought about. I mean, I didn't eat healthy. I ate like crap, but I was already playing sport. Like, I started running track in 7th grade, right? And so from 7th grade and 8th grade, I started playing JV football and football and track and basketball. So I think just being active helped weigh out all the bad crap I was eating.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but I think health is very important. You see a lot of kids these days very obese and overweight. And I think because we're not as active and we don't have education on the nutrition. What is there to find?
I know, and the thing about it is, like, every couple of years or every decade, there seems to be a new push from, like, the health media.
Yeah.
You know, first it was everything needs to be fat free, and now it's sugar's the devil, and who knows what it'll be.
And it's gluten free, even though it's been proven that only a small percentage of people have gluten allergies, but everyone's doing the gluten free stuff. So, but that's where money comes into play, money and marketing.
Amen. What about you, TJ?
Which one we on?
Shoulda.
Should have. I should have moved to Georgia, North Carolina a few years ago.
Georgia.
I missed the 4 seasons, and I don't really get that down here. I do love this time of year.
Snow.
You just bought a house. What you doing?
That's why I said a few years ago I should have moved back. I enjoy it. Georgia, North Carolina gets some snow, but you have a lot of variety of things to do there in Carolina. You have the beaches, you have the mountains, you have good stuff there to do also.
Outer Banks in North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, but I just kind of wish I would have moved to one of those areas a couple of years ago. I mean, now getting more settled here, I still think about it. Who knows?
I don't know if I would ever move back though. Like, I was talking to my sister yesterday. She took me out for brunch for my birthday, and we were talking about how in order to get a big land, a big yard, you got to go out to Pasco County or like Lakeland. And I'm not going back to that. That's where we came from. Like, I came from that lifestyle, but maybe if I retired, I would go back to it. But that cold, man, I'm not about that cold life. Like, it felt like negative 51 degrees in Milwaukee this week. Come on now.
That's why I'm not saying more. I'm talking about the Carolinas or Georgia. I mean, it still gets cold there. I miss the fashion up there also. You know, the boots, being able to put on.
I would agree with that too.
Coat, a sweater, hat, scarf. Come out looking all good, feeling all good. But down here it's more, you know, like this time of year, I love this, man. I've been wearing some nice clothes, got me some new boots and stuff like that, man. So I'm enjoying it. But as soon as it gets hot again, it's back to everybody with flip flops and shorts and t-shirts.
It's so hot, man. You put too much clothes on.
Yeah, so. What about you, Elle?
She did hers.
What about you, Jay?
I did mine too. So we're going back to the next Woulda, right?
Woulda.
Woulda. I would have kept my first car I bought after paying it off instead of buying another car. It gave me no problems, but I wanted something a bit more flashy and ended up buying a Nissan Maxima. And I ended up messing up my credit because I lost my job and I struggled with payments. But if I had just kept that car after it was paid off, man, and run it to the ground, I would have been way better off, you know, a few years later. But man, when you're young, dumb, and full of cum, man, you just want the flashy stuff.
I hate you.
What? Y'all ain't never heard that saying? Come on.
I heard that.
You do stupid stuff. Basically, you do stupid stuff when you're 20. But you don't have education, you don't have anyone to teach you to say, hey, you know what? You just paid your car off. Take that money that you got now and put it towards something else. I would have been better off. But you know, me being young, I bought another car and added another $16,000 of debt, and so.
Okay. Elle, what about you?
I would have gotten into. I said it already, but
Dance.
I would have gotten back into dance earlier. I just took, I don't know, I was in hip hop back in the day, and then I got hurt, and then I just didn't, and then it took a while for me to get back into dance. I wish I would have gotten into it earlier.
I have a question for all of us.
Okay.
For yourself?
From everything that we stated on here for our Shoulda, Coulda, Wouldas, which ones, if any, which one would you do?
I'm looking at the rest of my list I haven't said yet.
What would you do?
Yes, I love it.
I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, I wouldn't have done the student loans. Hello. I got some serious student loans right now.
Because now, after all the things we stated for our Shoulda, Coulda, Wouldas, we all have gained wisdom and learned a lot from each of these right here. So with the wisdom that you've gained from these, how will you continue moving on in the future?
I don't know. I pretty much,
My man.
you know, I'm an advocate for just doing whatever you want, man, regardless of what other people think. And so everything that I do now because I want to do it. And I try not to make any excuses about why I can't, outside of financial reasons. You know, we all make excuses. I'm probably a big procrastinator on certain things, but if it's a goal or something I have set for myself, I do it. I might not do it in a year. I might not do it in a month. I might not do it in 2 months, but I find a way to do it. So
you mentioned you're a big advocate for doing what you want. I'm big for that also, but come the time, you got to stop always doing what you want and do what you need to do. I got to add that in there because a lot of people still not learning from keep doing what they want. They keep having problems, mistakes, and having, excuse my language, fucked up lives. You know, I've been there, done that, and I had to learn how to stop always doing what I want and learn from the things that I wanted to do, learn from the things, start doing more so the things that I needed to do. And going by what El mentioned earlier about having balance, that helped me to have a lot of better balance in my life, you know. So I just wanted to throw that in there. For me, I'll say what I'm going to do, I will get finished my degree. After talking to Elle a couple minutes ago in here, I will have a child, Elle.
Yes.
Yes, so whenever you're ready.
Oh my God, shut up. I hate him so much, y'all.
Whenever you're ready, Elle, I'm just
Don't
saying.
say that to me because I got baby fever.
oh Lord.
Okay, so as I was saying, I'm not going to have a child.
I'm
What's
just
your next
joking,
Woulda?
y'all.
What's your next Woulda?
Would have? I'm just going to toss this in there. I would have. I wish I would have really to go back on one. I wish I would have gone to school, accepted my scholarships. I loved football, man. I started track late. I did 1 year, but I had a great time in the 100. Hit 10.8 for just running 1 year. And I know I could have got a lot better with that. I had a guy named Bobby Blackwell on our team. Bobby was a beast, man.
Bobby Blackwell.
Yeah, man. He went to VMI. Good guy, man. Real good. We still stay in contact. He was a beast, man. And I'm gonna throw this little story in there real quick. He would always kick my ass at practice, and also when we had our track meets. The boy was running like a 10-2 back then. So one time at practice, we was doing the 200, and I came off that curve, man. I burnt his ass.
That's a good feeling. When you do
And
that.
I had so much bragging rights, I never raced him again at practice.
You got a pattern
I
for
left it
doing
at
that.
that.
You got a pattern for once you get a win, trying to stop and not doing it
Because
ever
people
again.
keep bragging. He would always smoke me, right? The boy was awesome, right? But I got him that time, and I felt so good. I'm not gonna lose that feeling, man. So I left it at that. So.
L, you
That's
got
what I
another Woulda, L?
No, I just said mine's woulda, but my coulda,
Coulda.
yes, I could have went to prom and I could have went to graduation, but I didn't. And I don't feel bad about it at all. And everybody always asks me about it, and I'm like, no. I had moved.
Why didn't you go? Why didn't you? Oh, because you moved.
I had
That's right.
moved,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like when I came down from my senior year. Senior year is when you were the most clicked up in high school. Like you're not accepting new friends, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so when I got there, I was a new person for the last year of high school, where everyone is clicked up and barely going to school anyways. And so everybody was pressuring me to go to graduation, but I was graduating with people I didn't even know, like, you know what I mean? So, or go to prom. And I just didn't want to deal with it. And so I didn't go, and everybody said I would regret it. And, I don't.
Yeah, I went to my senior prom. It wasn't really that big of a deal. I think we make it bigger than it really is.
I think for girls, it's bigger.
Yeah. I don't even I wouldn't even go to my high school reunion. My high school reunion, my 20 years coming up. I'm like,
Man, go to it.
I went to my 10.
Go,
I went to my 10. I'm not going to my 20.
Why not?
Because when I went to my 10, and some of them listened to the show, and also I'll just say, I'll put it out there. The same people that hung out in high school was clicked up at the reunion. I'm like, have we not evolved enough to grow and to go sit with the person who we weren't friends with in high school to find out what's going on in that life? So I felt personally out of place because, and so I said, you know what? I didn't hang out with the friends at reunion that I normally hung out with. I went and sat with the people who I didn't really know in high school and say, hey, what's going on with you? What's talking to you? But I was the only one that was doing that. And I just felt like, this is too, I can't. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to my 20.
Okay.
So my next coulda, I could have stayed my ass in Virginia when I got fired from my job, but I didn't. And I'm glad that I didn't, because it's easy to say what you will do, right? But don't do it. And I have been talking about moving from Richmond for a long time. And when I got fired, I was just like, man, I mean, I applied for other jobs right there in Virginia. I was scared. I was dead ass scared. And I just chose to take a leap of faith and say, just go do something different, man. Like, just change your life. And I'm glad I didn't. I have no regrets about not staying in Virginia. I am not bothered one ounce of, I miss my friends and my family back there, but this is my life now. And I'm glad I did it.
What could I have done that
That you didn't do, you're proud of
that
yourself.
I didn't do? That I'm proud of myself of?
No, that you're happy that you didn't do.
Oh, it was it was a certain young lady I used to see back in the day, and at the time, I'm gonna put it out there like that too. She was a virgin, and
Oh, Lord.
I wanted to, but I respected her parents a whole lot, and I never did. And after me and her stopped seeing each other, the first guy she seen after me, she got pregnant by. So I'm so glad that I didn't. You know, so that was a could have. But I wanted her. She was.
You wanted to tear that virgin?
Yes, I did. But her parents was very nice and sweet.
Parents. Her parents.
Her parents was very nice and sweet, L. So I did not do it. Is that better, L? Okay.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. So what's your before we move on, let's talk about what's your ultimate takeaway from your shoulda, woulda, coulda. So when you were taking the time to reflect on this, what was your takeaway?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would say my takeaway would be that I'm pretty damn happy. Like, yeah,
dope.
like you know, I didn't do everything that I wanted to do then, but right now, like, what is that?
The things that I did.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a lot of the things. I just feel good. I don't regret anything that I didn't do. Like I had on here, I could have chosen to not forget my father for being absent in my life, but I did, and I'm okay with. Like I feel good about that. You know, so that's just my biggest takeaway. Is just I'm pretty damn happy.
Yeah, I think for me, I realize that I'm okay with having kids older.
Say it again.
Having kids altered?
having kids older.
Older, okay. You said altered.
So you
What
don't
about-
have, a deadline for your like. Deadlines suck. I'm not saying give yourself a deadline, but you don't have an age in mind that you would prefer to have a kid by. Like you want to be 45 and having your first child.
I don't have an age. I hope my body will like work with me, when I decide to.
Yeah,
But I don't have an age.
that's good.
I feel like the idea is that when you're older, you can't do as much. But I actually think you can provide more, So, whatever. All right, what about you, TJ? What's yours?
I don't have too many from the list. Should have, could have, would have. But because I think big part was I listened to a lot of the older people who was guiding me back when I was younger. I took in good advice. The seeds were planted and I allowed them to come to fruition. So I would just say, take your chances on things. Do your should haves, could haves, would haves. But don't keep doing the same ones over and over and over again because you can realize that there's failure in there. If you realize you come to a point that you haven't really succeeded in, to start doing more things that you need to do than that you want to do, and your should have, could have, would have.
All right, I like that note. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to my least favorite, even though I am smacking that ass.
Do you ever think that that's why that you win? Because I like when you smack that ass.
No, because you just can't win.
That's true. He just can't win.
You just suck.
And that's why, seriously, y'all keep talking that shit, but I will be stopping this soon. I'm not going to be participating in this because I'm tired of it. Once I win, I'm just like with Bobby Brown. I'm sorry, Bobby Blackwell. Once I win, I'm done.
All right, Sippers.
Bring it on today. Here
we go. So, Sippers, this is your first time listening to All Dino Shade podcast. We're about to play 5 songs that L and TJ are competing to answer first. And they can know the name or typically the name of the artist or the song. Unless I do a popular song and I say name the artist. But anyway, you can find these songs on All Dino Shade Spotify playlist. And are y'all ready? I'm going to wait for Shay to give me the heads up that he's ready. So the first song came out in 2004. It's a very popular song. Hey.
Just Blaze? That's the
No.
producer.
That's the producer, yeah.
I know.
Come on, Sippers. Y'all know who this is.
Jaheim?
Nope. He was with Bad Boy Records.
Lloyd? No.
No. TJ, you don't know this? Hey. Wow.
I don't know this at all. Hold on. Wait, let me get to the chorus.
Shay knows he over there jamming out.
What's he
Can't
know?
believe y'all know this. I know. I hear the chorus right here.
112?
No. All right. So this is Carl Thomas.
I love Carl
I never heard
Thomas.
This is a
song by
very
him.
She don't love Carl Thomas.
yeah.
It didn't sound like
I
him.
absolutely love Carl Thomas.
This is his very first song that he put out.
I thought his
I
first
didn't
song
hear
was
this
I Wish.
Yeah.
Oh, it came out
Right,
first, but
yeah.
this was on the same album though.
I never heard this.
No, it's not.
No, second album, 2004.
Oh, okay.
2004. So this,
It's I know that first album, back to
Yeah.
front to back.
but this is Carl Thomas. This is the second album. All right, so Jay has 1. Y'all have 0. All right, so this is the next
This
song.
happened last week.
Maybe.
We got stumped on the first one
You
too.
did, and then L took a lead. All right, so don't play it yet, Shay.
So you know your history. You know what's going on.
This song is probably the most popular song of the 90s. It came out in 1994. Let's get it.
Biggie.
Biggie.
There you go. TJ got
TJ
that
got it,
one.
yeah.
TJ got that one. Oh, and so last week I did listen to that the Todd y'all had. I think L might have said it just a split second earlier last week. When y'all both said, but it don't matter. I'm just saying. TJ got 1.
Dream.
We're a magazine. Salt and pepper, heavy D up in the magazine. Hanging pictures on the wall. All right.
He was my man.
I know Biggie was your man. If you hadn't got that, I would have been laughing at you because you like Biggie over Tupac. All right, so it's one zip L. He ain't gonna get this one. So this one came out in 2009. 2009.
You right about that?
You might though. It was popular.
Juvenile,
No. It sound like it though.
Trap,
No. Hey.
Oh shit.
Rockstar?
No.
Oh, I remember the song right
Kitty
here.
Mom, no.
No.
I like
2009.
Dang, I like this.
Get wasted.
Wasted?
Yeah.
Party?
Oh man.
Who is this? Wait.
Wait a minute.
Can't believe they don't know that.
Kodak Black. Not
No,
Kodak Black.
no,
He's 2009.
no,
What is it
no.
called? What's his name? Gucci Mane?
There you go. Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Yes.
I keep thinking Kodak Black, but it's Gucci Mane.
Yeah, this came out in 2009 featuring Plies.
Yeah.
So Gucci Mane. I love this song. I don't even like
Yeah.
Gucci, but it was a good song.
So jamming this one. Yep.
So it's 1-1. 1-1. 1-1-1. Because I got one too. This
We all
next
tied
song came out in 1995. It's a popular song as well.
Janet Jackson. Michael Jackson.
No.
Paul Abdul. Nate Dogg.
No. I'm so
Warren
hurt
G.
right now.
Snoop
Wow.
Dogg.
Those boys.
Bone Thug was an army.
That's it.
You gotta start giving them hints.
Those boys. I knew.
I know.
I couldn't think of what the name.
When you say a boy, but it
Boys,
cued her to think.
Fuck.
Bone Thugs and Harmony
Yes.
came out in 1995.
Love them also, man.
I used to love this
Yes,
group,
sir.
man. First of the month is the name of the song. So it's 2-1. All right, so TJ, you need this one
Yeah.
in order to
DJ,
tie it up to throw it into overtime. And then if you get it, we'll let Shay choose the last one. So this one came out in 2018. 2018, but it's a very popular guy. Listen to the voice.
Miguel.
How you gonna guess before you start?
Miguel.
No. Turn it up a little bit, Shay.
Future.
He's in it. It's not his song.
Lil Wayne.
No.
I know these guys today. You know
Drake.
Drake. Song is called Blue Tent. It's off his latest album that came out in 2018, and it's featuring Future. All right, that's it. That sounds familiar. Hopefully, L has won again this week. I think next week maybe TJ will win. So
We
we'll
might need to
see.
go older.
A little older.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop this game. You be playing by
Yeah.
yourself.
You might need to go older.
Then you would know. You might not know 80s though. That's early 90s.
Not 80s, but he does better on the 90s stuff.
I did two 90s.
He's fair. He's fair.
I did 1994 Biggie, 1995 Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I give you 2000. So I'm trying to be fair.
Oh, that's true.
He is fair. He's fair.
I'm trying to be fair.
You just suck.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. Sippers, hopefully you did well as well.
All right, let's go ahead and go into our toast to wisdom.
I don't exactly do a toast to wisdom today. I was going to do that, but I want to speak on something, if you guys don't mind, real quick. There's a picture going around the internet showing it's a caricature-like picture, cartoonish-like picture. Obama, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Tyson, Allen Iverson, and a couple other figures inside of this picture of them shooting dice. Have you seen that picture? Mm-hmm. What did you think of that picture?
I think that with them shooting craps, I don't really care for that pastime of that picture. I get what they're trying to do. It's like it's all the powerful figures are unified around a game of in the black community that bring people together. I'm okay with it. It's not too bad. Why couldn't it have been spades though, or been like Uno, or some other kind of card game. How do you feel about it?
I see a big lack of respect in this picture for those who have paved the way for us.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are this culture nowadays are accepting of things like this because that's what a lot of the inner city is about, and it's the culture, the way things we do inside of the inner city, the things that's accepted amongst people. But even though one person mentioned how Dr. King and that also Malcolm X, Gamble also back in the day, that's what they did prior to them changing their lives and becoming better. And I really don't like the picture. I think what it stands for is it'll give a lot of our younger people out here a different perspective of those who helped pave the way for us.
Yeah.
And a lack of respect for it. I really, when I seen it, I looked at it, I was like.
What would you have preferred that picture would be? That cartoon?
It's not positive to me. I don't see any positivity in it. I mean, we all have to see it from a different perspective.
Because they're playing that game of craps, or?
It's to me, it's hurtful. I'll be very honest with you. It's very, very hurtful. And I'm not just using that word lightly either, because when I see, knowing what President Obama, think about this, the first black president ever. When I was a kid, I never had any inclination, never thought that we would have a black president during my time. And so for all these guys who have achieved the things they've done in life for us, to have them pictured in this way.
So you would have preferred them be sitting around a table in a cartoon?
No, something more positive.
Sitting around a table is positive. What do you mean?
That's a kind of like a typical thing, something like that, But something more positive,
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with the game of craps is a inner city game that is mostly given a negative connotation with it. So I agree that maybe they should not have chosen craps as the unifying mark of bringing them together.
If anything, again, I'm not the artist, so I don't know exactly what was his motivation, inspiration for this picture right here, right? If I were to do something like this, I'll put him on the barbershop.
Okay.
Barbershop always have a great collective of men inside of there who talk so many different topics inside of there.
Yeah.
And it's a respect that you have all type of generations and also older, younger, and so forth. So they always collaborate and share different things inside the barbershop. I would put something like that inside of there. That was for what I would do. But again, this is his picture. So whatever got him to do this, I don't know. And I'd love to say and talk to him to find out what really motivated Drew doing this.
Maybe to him, craps is something that he enjoyed doing that brought his family, his brothers together. Maybe that's what symbolizes to him. You never know what the artist feels in that. But TJ is going to post that picture for y'all to see, and then you can comment on it yourself.
Yeah, it just feels a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
Not a little bit, a lot bit. All right, guys, if you have your own feedback or if you think something else is just weird that you want to speak about, go ahead and hit us up on our email at allteanoshadepodcast@gmail.com. You can send us a text message or leave us a voicemail at 646-481-2368. That's 646-481-2368. Or you can slide in our DMs or post to our walls on Facebook at All Tea No Shade, that's our page, or All Tea No Shade Podcasts and Friends, that's our group on Facebook. And All Tea No Shade Podcast is our IG name. Make sure that you add, make sure that you share, make sure that you like. All right, guys, before we close this thing on down, let's talk about what is your ish. What's your ish? What's your ish? What's your ish?
My ish this week is... last night I watched the on Netflix the alt-right movement movie on
What's it called?
I know something alt-right. I'll give you the name before you leave. And it was a documentary on them and learning a lot more about them that I didn't. Some things I already knew, but a lot of things I didn't know also as well. So my issue for this week is just continue being a positive black man and also doing more, not just for black people, but also for fairness and equality for people out here. That's my issue. Because after watching that, I was like, you see a lot of people inside the video of different nationalities who are coming together for a more positive movement. But you have people like the alt-right and so forth out here who are always being negative and different, opposing of what we consider as being right out here. So I just want to keep on doing what's right, and that's my ish. Get more involved into some more positive things out here.
Good.
I don't have an ish this week. I'm going to pass it to you, Jay.
Kind of quiet today.
So my ish, do y'all like my shirt?
Yes.
Thank you. You a hater.
I like it. Mustard's a good color on him.
But it's wrinkled.
So I'm inside this house. Ain't nobody see me right now.
You look yellowish.
He's such a hater.
He is a hater.
He
He
is
looks
such a
very
hater.
nice.
He's such
I
a
like the
hater.
shirt.
Why? Because you asked.
Anyway.
Why is it my opinion is a hater?
You a hater.
Okay, my fault. Man, I love that shirt. Can I borrow it?
No.
It'd be stretched. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hater. Anyway, so my
Off the
ish
chain.
is Target men's clothes and shoes. So Target is slightly low key turning up with their clothing department, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of the clothes. And so I buy some of my dopest pieces from Target, and people don't even know it. And so I'm a big fan of their revamped stores, and their biggest brand in Target for men is called Goodfellows. And so I just bought a pair of $20 sneakers, and I got so many compliments on them yesterday when I was at Sparkman's Wharf. Oh, those shoes are dope. I'm like, these are Target. So that's my ish this week is Target men's clothing. If you are looking for affordable clothing without breaking the bank, definitely go check out the men's section. And
Target, if you want to sponsor us, go ahead. We'll take it.
That would be amazing.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into our final sip. Do you guys have any of you have a final sip today?
Final sip. So as we record this is Super Bowl Sunday. So simple question: who you got, Patriots or the Rams?
Patriots.
Get the hell out of my house, girl. Okay, Rams.
I don't want the Patriots to win, but I just feel like that's what that's going
agree
to
with you, yeah.
going to happen. I would prefer the Rams to
You
win.
can stay in there.
Thank you.
I got
I
the
just think-
Rams. Shay, who you got?
What you got, Shay?
The Patriots need to lose.
Good call.
So we're a Rams house over here.
The Rams house.
I think the
Rams
Patriots
house.
are going to win, but
I hope not.
I hope they don't.
All right, sippers. On who you
All
got,
right,
bud?
with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this sip session done.
All